If you look up design and passion, what face pops up? Alfonso Baeza, of course, from Infiniti and Nissan. Alfonso, you have brought two very special treats to us here at the Canadian International Auto Show. Tell us about them.
On the right, we have QX Monograph. So it's a strong hint at a car we're going to be launching very, very soon, which is the QX80, of course. And it represents the height of our portfolio, the most beautiful art at a grand scale. And to your left, or to behind you, actually is our bird of flight, the Vision QE, which really shows a strong hint at what our next electrified sedan, which would be built in North America as an EV. So we're excited about starting to talk about these two cars.
Okay, let's just walk over here to the QX Monograph here. Now, tell me, like, what kind of design elements, and what were there challenges, and what were you trying to incorporate here on this new QX?
You know, I don't know if there was so much challenges. It's just that we had this feeling from the beginning that we really wanted to show this grand scale. So, of course, today's QX80 is a big car, but we really wanted to make the front aspect of this car to feel much more like an alluring big scale presence. So the volume is quite big. And then as you see these lines that are coming back, actually those lines are going downhill.
Okay.
And
yeah,
as a result, that you get this power and scale in the front, and then you have this sense of agility, because at the end of the day, air suspension, all these things, this car drives amazing. So it's not a cumbersome vehicle, even though it's a large scale. We wanted to get this feeling of agility in the
presence
premium.
of the glass, and there's so many different accents that you have here. Tell us a little bit more about the front light signature itself.
So we, a couple things with the light signatures, because the light signatures are directly linked to the grille itself. So we fell in love with this piano key motif. So there are these ice cubes that have little kimono patterns, but then there's a black frame in between them. That black frame blends into our bamboo forest inspired grille. Bamboo forest, because it's this undulation, this tapering, you can almost feel the wind causing the bamboo to bow and to hit each other. And then the logo is completely anchored into this. So everything is seamlessly incorporated. And then, as you mentioned, the piano key then triggers that line that goes all the way to the tail lamp.
Now, what color is this? It's very, very unique. It almost seems like there's different colors depending on where you look at it.
It's a kind of which is represents the sunset. So that moment where the sky turns a bit red and it starts to go into a dark blue and a kind of purplish. We did this because it's multi-layer, of course. The clear coat has red, and it's a deep red. So sometimes you are coming around and I'm sure you're feeling a little bit of red, but then your brain is confused and saying, but this is a gray car. And we're playing with that. And then the glass is tinted red. And we wanted to express this character. On the QE, it's the opposite. It's on the blue side. And so we play with these subtle tones within the pigments.
And I see that you've kind of matched those tones a little bit even on these big monster 23-inch wheels.
Yeah. Yes, I love that this tinted red over the chrome in this sense. Over the aluminum.
Now, when will we be seeing the production version of this?
It's a bit imminent, actually. We can't give you exact dates right now, but it is, as we've communicated, the full production is within this calendar year, and there'll be stuff coming in over the news relatively soon.
All right, now we're over at the Vision QE. All right, so this thing it's wild.
Yes. It's kind of wild, but not wild. It's an interesting thing. The silhouette is arresting. It looks like a bird of flight. Brancusi is a famous sculpture from the 50s. I'm sorry, I'm a bit old. And this sense of the bird in flight became something for us, because the beak of the car is quite low, seems like it's focused and it's about to pounce. And then these shapes are almost as if the wings of the bird are tucked back. So we fell in love with this gesture right off the bat. The nose, the crease is quite sharp, quite low. The logo, which on the QX is on a vertical surface. On the QE, it's on the hood. But anyway, this crease comes around, stays very low, and then explodes open into this very powerful rear fender. So we talk about Japanese minimalism, but actually there's a lot of stuff happening in this sculpture.
There sure is, and it's a beautiful sculpture. Now, you talked about the logo. Now, these are different logos than what we're normally used to on the Infiniti. Can you tell us a little bit more about that?
Yes, they're recently designed, and the first application in production will be on the QX80, and it's almost exactly like the concept car. So I've worked at the company 36 years, and I witnessed the launch of Infiniti, and to be honest, I fell in love with that logo. Because Infiniti, of course, means the infinite road and all this, but that logo actually shows that. Most logos don't really show the meaning of the word as well as that. So when we were designing the new one, we thought, okay, let's respect that and go further and actually drop the road three-dimensionally back so you feel that you're going towards the horizon. So both cars have it. Because of aerodynamics, it's more on a 45-degree surface, and here it's a vertical one.
So this concept QE is a concept of a production vehicle.
Yep.
Can you tell us a little bit more about the production vehicle?
So as we've announced, we will be making EVs in North America in our Canton plant, and I could say that this is one of those cars. There's various cars that are going to be made there. And we're very excited because to get this kind of level car built in the Americas is a big deal. And the design itself is, this is a show car, but it's really signaling a lot of the things you're going to see in the production car.
Now, when you're designing an electric car, because that's still fairly new, the EVs. Is it easier, or is it more fun to design an electric car, or is it harder because you don't have the grille, you don't have the face, right, of it? Is it fun?
At the end, it's fun because designing is fun, but you hit the nail on the head in the sense that we have become used to expressing the identity of a company with the grille. Not only Mercedes, all of us. We had V-Motion on Nissan side, and we had the double arch grille for Infiniti. And a bit easier here because this is still an ICE car with the QX. But here, as you can see, that's gone. And we're working with digital art, and there's a little bit of the double arch in here, but it's very abstracted. So it's not that it was difficult, but you did need to change your mind. Okay, don't rely on things from the ICE era for the future. So we came up with this design, which the car that follows this will be an EV SUV, crossover.
Yep.
It'll have this kind of face on that. And then we just started working with that. So the wheelbases are very long on the EVs.
Yes.
So they're almost F-segment wheelbases on cars that are not F-segment, and that's not difficult. It's just different. So you start arranging the volumes differently and stuff like that.
You have a long canvas to work
with. A long canvas, and then overhangs are very short.
Yeah.
And so they're kind of cool. So they're fun. The thing with EVs, I'm sure every designer here will tell you, the problem more is the batteries. Because they're about 140 millimeter flat skateboard, and then you put the car on top of that. So we are learning to deal with height for sedans, because our idea of a sexy sedan tends to be low.
Okay.
And so that's the things that they're not difficult, you just have to adjust and change and stuff like that. You have to find a new language and stuff.
Well, I think you've done a great job on both these vehicles.
Thank you.
And I can't wait to see what's coming down the road.
Thank you so much.
Soon, right?
Very.
All right. Thank you.
Thanks a lot.